Two candidates of APC were disqualified at the Supreme Court because they didn't do primary. If the election is not challenged by someone, do you think they can be disqualified? It is only Dino Melaye that remain out of the 3 senators there. For you to know that it is the people that will be ready to challenge any system that doesn't fear them. If they can be, by the time they do it, and it's going to be president to others.
So people should say no to consensus. So primary election is the best. That's what you're saying.
Primary election is the best.
Welcome to the big story. My name is Oluwayemi Adelakun. Across Nigeria's political landscape, endorsement have long been a powerful currency. From party leaders and political godfathers to respected elders and influential interest groups, political blessings have often shaped campaigns and in some cases determined electoral outcomes. History offers examples where endorsement proved decisive, such as the backing that strengthened the victories of leaders like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2023, the Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State. Yet, there are equally striking cases where endorsement failed to sway the electorate, with candidates suffering defeat despite enjoying the support of powerful political figures, reminding us that the ballot ultimately belongs to the people. As political alignment intensified of future elections, one question remains: do endorsements still carry the weight they once did, or are Nigerian voters becoming increasingly independent in making electoral choices? And joining me to examine this is Honorable Molajo Lai, a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, APC. Honorable, welcome this morning.
Good morning to you, Yemi. Thanks for having me here today. And good morning to you if you're at home or watching us and listening to us as well.
Right. This morning, I want to ask you this question. The endorsement of candidates, the blessings before the primary elections, what is the effect of that when it comes to emergence of candidates after primaries?
Endorsement is one of the tools that people use in politics, and it depends on who you are and it depends on who is endorsing you. It's really being used in developers as well. I remember when Obama wanted to campaign and he wanted to become a president of the United States of America. We've seen somebody who he looks up to all the time. You are talking about Bill Clinton. He was at his back all the time before he clinched the presidency. And he has always at his back as well, most of the time. The same thing happened to when you are talking about President Trump now. If you fight with Trump, that means you are going to meet your doom politically in when you are talking about in a Republican.
But Obama supported a female candidate in the last election and she lost.
Yeah. But that is where you are going to see when you are talking about race. Then you are talking about color. You are talking about race. You are talking about even probably because she's women as well. And you have not seen any woman being president of the United States of America. And mind you, when he was endorsed by Obama and other stalwarts of the party, he clinched the party ticket. That is first thing before you go to general election. But that is what we are now saying. When you are being endorsed in your party, like you said, it might not carry the weight when it's going to come to general election. But many times it does the magic. Depending, when you are talking about endorsement, it might be community, it can be in the state, it can be in the local government. Because for that, the particular person you want, his endorsement must carry with whether state, whether political, whether local government or whether state. See Kwankwaso, when he endorses people, you know how much at this present moment that person is always having some voters sympathy, and those who are Kwankwasia are going to follow that person. So it depends on who endorses you.
So what about the candidate that is being endorsed now? Because you mentioned that there was no we have not seen any female, president of the United States. So beyond the popularity of Obama, someone as popular as Obama is influenced still. His candidate lost. So are you saying that beyond the endorsement, the candidate is also a huge factor?
Exactly. You cannot cut away the candidate themselves. We have seen in the past when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, before he became president, when he endorsed people in Lagos State, that people always win at most of the time, and sometimes he loses in some rare cases as well. We have seen when one of the former candidates, one of the store member of APC then was refused to be given a ticket in Mushi local government, and he went to Popular Party and won election. But it is always the influence of those who endorse you always carry weight, because when the voters loves you, they are going to be able to vote for you. But sometimes it doesn't work all the time.
And that's a very good point, and that's how I'll bring you down to your state. Now let's talk about the governorship election. Now, the current governor endorsed, Mr. Adekombi, and then some of his supporters are saying, "We love you, but we really do not support this candidate." While others are saying, "We love you, and we are going to follow whosoever you have chosen for us." And there are other people who don't even support the governor at all, and they are saying no to the candidate. So now, can you tell us about what we should expect, or what the indigenous should expect about the governorship elections? Because there are people who are saying we love the governor, but we do not support the candidate. But we have others who are saying we love the governor and we are going to support the candidate.
When you are not talking about PDP, I will not say I didn't know what is going on in our state, but because I'm not in that particular party anyway. So, but one thing about PDP and Shemakine, it doesn't call many people into the party. When we have not even know how many people are the card carrying member of PDP or APM that they are now supporting. But when things like that happen, we have not seen a lot of people that come outside. When you are talking about those people who are very popular, who are well known, that they say they don't like Adekombi, they might be saying it underneath. I've had some people who say it underneath, but at the end of the day, they are never challenge Governor Shemakine openly to say that they don't endorse that particular candidate. Unlike APC, who says what they want all the time. If anybody talk about endorsement, they are going to say nobody endorses you. You are the one that is endorsing yourself.
What about the candidate of APC, Senator Sharafaddin Ali?
You know, there is a lot of hue and cry that is going on in APC right now, and it's not leading to anybody.
Quick question: was he endorsed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
I don't know because I've not seen President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came out publicly to say he endorsed a particular person. But until we see. And like you said, people have the right to vote for who they wanted, and who they wanted must be able to prove themselves as well. If you see in the time past, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu always bringing a gem or a diamond from probably a gutter or somewhere. If you know that you are very popular, that is how he always trying to bring people out. He made sure he did your past. I knew your capability when you are talking about politics before he can be able to bring it out and say he endorses you, because he himself doesn't want a institution that is not going to be, is going to lose. We saw what happened when you are talking about endorsements in the time past in Edo State, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu endorsed someone and they said here is not Lagos, and we have seen late what's it called Aketi in Ondo State. The very first time he contested as a governor in Ondo State, they said they don't want any godfatherism, and they didn't support him, and he lost. He lost woefully. And the next is a governorship ambition. When he contested again, he doesn't call Ahmed Bola Tinubu to come and endorse him again, because he knew because it backfired the first time, and he refused to let him endorse him at the second time, and he won election. That for you to know that people carried weight a lot.
So it tells you that beyond the choice of the governor in your state, the voters will still determine.
The voter, and I will tell you, anywhere in Nigeria, it is Oyo State, particularly Ibadan, that start all these opposition. When you're talking about the first local government, the council we have, you are talking about the late sage Adekoke Adelabu Penkelemes, the first Penkelemes. He was always in opposition, and he is always winning election. He doesn't flow with the popularity of anybody, because he knew he's popular in his territory, and he's always.
But can we compare the terrain back then to what we have now?
It doesn't change.
Can a candidate win an election without any endorsement?
You see, I will tell you, an experience I had in United Kingdom, when the mayor of London, the first mayor of London, was Ken Livingstone, and he was in Labour Party. But mind you, the Labour people, the Labour hierarchy doesn't like Ken Livingstone. because of his campaign, because they believe in him, he's very popular. And you know what he did? And they refused to give him the ticket. They influenced that when they are doing the delegate vote, they make sure that they didn't give him the ticket, they expelled him. And he left Labour Party. He went for independent and he won landslide. For you to know when you are popular, it might take time for people to be able to recognize it. You have to warm their heart and you have to prove to them. When you can be able to prove to them, forget people are going to be able to vote for you.
But then if you listen to some supporters of Seyi Makinde, especially members of the PDP APM, they are so confident that they are winning this election, based on the power of incumbency and the power of the current governor now. Do you agree with that? Do you see a sense
I don't believe in power of incumbency because people always know who they are going to vote for. But with the current situation we have in APC, that is why you see people like Adekabi can be boasting that a lot of people from APC are going to vote for him because he knew he decamped to APC, PDP last probably 5 months ago, less than 5 months ago, and
you might see our supporters in APC. Is that what you're saying?
That is what he said.
Oh.
That he granted an interview. Not quite long ago, and he said he's the one that he has control in APC. I don't know how, but he has been in the system for a very long time. He will have met a lot of people.
I mean, he worked for the former governor, the late
yes,
Ajimobi.
And if the current situation in APC, because I said sometimes ago that people can win election from the premise of arrogancy, and they can lose election in the premise of arrogancy as well. I said, Seyi Makinde, the first time he won election, he won it on the premise of weakness, because nobody don't really know him that much, and he is not a kind of person that fluent or that have that charisma of talking. You get what I'm saying? But people gave him some sympathy.
Are you sure it's sympathy or the popularity of his party, or because people were just tired of APC in your state?
It is not about people tired of APC in your state.
Okay.
Because when you see that election, he refused to be part of the coalition at first. But when he saw that he lost woefully in the first ballot, the presidential and all these National Assembly members, he went and joined the coalition. That is when he became popular. Because it is not only his work. You know, APC has about 350,000 votes then. 350. Can you see that? You are going to see the power of those who are party members. It reflected in the election. And by the time we have been having problems in 2023, how many votes we have? Despite the fact that we have somebody like President Ahmed Bola Tinubu being the president, he has even been elected. You can see we have probably about 200 something thousand votes. 100 to 200, 350 to 200 something thousand votes. You know, is vast different. So for you to know the power of the member, that is why you must be able to have that endorsement from the member. If you don't have endorsement from them, you are going to your God. I mean, you are just you might lose.
What about the internet crisis going on in APC now as we speak? And then I believe some persons have come out to see the former minister is aggrieved, especially after the primary election, about what happened after the election, especially because he lost the election, and they are saying he might stay in the party and work against the party.
I don't know if I cannot speak for Adelabu. You are going to talk about, when you are talking about Adelabu, you are not being unfair to others as well, because we have seen D5, probably about 9 or 10 people are those that obtain the form. But when you are talking about...
it's more popular than those persons.
Whether it's popular than them or not, you are going to see a lot of people that agree, because me, I didn't buy any form. I didn't have 50 million to buy form. You are going to talk about people that buy state of assembly form. You are talking about people that bought senatorial form, senator form. You are going to talk about House of Representatives as well. You see, there are so many people that agree. How they are going to solve it? When you are talking about that, but you cannot just talk about Adelabu alone.
And people are talking about him.
Yes, I got you. I got you. That's what I'm saying. I'm just bringing you to the notice that for the fact that have many people that believe they are going to be giving fairness when you are talking about the primary. I cried they are not giving, and they are not giving as well. It is
so you think the primary election in your state, the APC primary election in your state was not free and fair?
How can you tell me it's free and fair? It's not. It's not. I keep telling people that others don't have. It is not only APC that doesn't have primary election. APM doesn't have. AGC doesn't have. All of them doesn't have. But what makes APC to be different is the fact that they have called a lot of people to come to the party, and they have given them that they have given them that hope that they are going to do primary.
Okay, did that happen because of the endorsement that happened for some candidates before the election?
There is nobody that is being endorsed.
Really?
There's nobody that is. If you want to endorse someone, are you going to just keep mom, or are you going to send an errand or somebody to go and tell that person that you endorse them?
I mean, these people came out to say they got the endorsement, and then that's why.
When Wike endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2023, he came out. He doesn't hide under the guise of anything. He came out and said that he has endorsed so president. And for you to know, endorsement doesn't come under the veil. People come out to endorse. That is what they do.
Okay. Do you think, for the sake of democracy, do you think people should put a stop to endorsing candidates before primary election and allow the candidate to compete, within themselves? Whoever wins election, that's okay.
That is the way it must be. It is endorsement. How the endorsement started. It might be from the group. You see, or probably you see only group that you'll see this kind of group. And a lot of those groups have shy away from endorsing a particular candidate, because by the time they endorse, endorsement can be even negative. People can say, is he the one that is feeding me? Are they the one who is he? Or is they the one that hold my tongue? Sometimes it can come out in a negative form. But people does that within the party. It is mostly common within the party in order to get members of the party sympathy to be able to win that primary. That's how it comes. It is not always about general election. Because by the time you are talking about general election, it is always going to be is a two-way thing. It can go to the left and it can go to the right. But mostly endorsement always comes within the political party, so the member can be able to have a sympathy for a certain candidate.
All right, let's talk about this case now, because some Nigerians have complained online bitterly to say that when a politician decides to endorse a candidate and that candidate wins the election, the candidate is forced to dance to the tune of the person who endorsed him or her. I'll give you examples. Let's talk about the Ogun State governor. You remember there was a time the president came out to say, if not for me, can this man become governor? And then it became a popular line in Nigeria, a lady of Ogun State. I'm not sure you remember. I'm sure you remember that video. And so that's about that. Let's talk about another person, Fubara, the governor, of Rivers State. Now, a lot of persons feel the reason why they're having issues is because they had an agreement, and then the other person is not willing to follow that agreement. Is not willing to dance to the tune anymore. So how do we curb that? That even if you endorse a candidate, and let's say, fortunately for that candidate, he or she wins the election, how do we ensure that the candidate will have a mind of his own?
It is not always easy for someone who ride a horse under the back of a particular godfather to be able to operate on his own. It's always difficult. It is, whether they like it or not, they always dance to the tune of those godfathers. And it is not only that. It might even be through financial support as well. Because in a place like United States of America, if you see somebody that backs you, because when you are talking about election, it's always involved large sum of money. And if you refuse to dance the tune of that donor, he is going to withdraw his support from you. And when that kind of person withdraw their support from you, you always lag behind when you are talking about another election. Now, I'll give you an example. You are talking about Elon Musk. Elon Musk endorsed any campaign, and he even donated large sum of money for President Trump. I'll just give you an example. It's beyond Nigeria right now. And by the time He took over. A lot of contracts were given to Elon Musk.
But the relationship back there is not what it is now.
Whether it is or not, because we know is that we call Trump, crazy Trump, but at the end of the day, he had a lot of influence. He has been given some contract because he is spelling things out the way because of the power of the money he has. He was challenging Trump, and he challenged Trump for a very long time before are we sure the relationship has even broken?
I mean, it's in the public space.
He has said, yeah,
they were not what they used to be.
He probably at this particular moment, Trump, Elon Musk is not that vocal, but before he was very vocal when he wanted to say a lot of things. He said they are going to cut down the civil service, they are going to do this, they are going to, but now it's not that. He doesn't express himself the way he used to be.
I even love the example you're using because unlike Trump, unlike some Nigerian politician, Trump is not a pushover. He's not a politician that you can tell do this, do that, and that's to tell you that even regardless the kind of support that Elon Musk gave to Trump, he was willing to do things his own way. Do you agree with that?
No doubt about that. I never doubted that. That happened in Nigeria as well.
Give me examples.
That is what I'll give you example. That is why somebody like Convazo and the governor of Kano State, they have part way. So many godfathers. Have you like Fubara and Wike? They parted way.
Is Fubara not paying for that?
And I am telling you as well. When you are talking about Saraki, the four Saraki, and Mudashir, they part way. I will tell you about Bonu. When you are talking about Kalacha and this Moneybag, former governor of Borno State that even brought what's it called? They parted way as well.
But let's talk about Fubara. Is Fubara not paying for the fallout?
Many of them pay for the fallout. But for you to tell me that there is not going to be disagreement, many disagreements are happening in the past when you are. The same thing happened to Kalacha as well. Because he didn't get the endorsement of that APP that voted for him. He went to AD, and at the same time, he lost. Mudashiru Lawal lost. A lot of people that fell out with their godfather, many of them have lost. Because many of them don't have that political power. They don't have a lot of influence in the party. That is why they lost. And they'll go to another party. And when they go to another party, they are going to give them free ticket. That's what they do. But when you fall out with your godfather, know that there is always going to be consequence. It might come in form of money. It might come in form of power. It might come at any form, and they always part with.
Right. The final question this morning. Let's talk about the effect of endorsement on the voters now. Because I've listened to so many persons, and they'll tell you they are not really interested in going out to vote because the candidate that emerge, they are not comfortable with that candidate. And that's why I asked the question earlier that should we put a stop to, these all endorsements before primary election so that people can win, in a free and fair election. Now let's talk about how can we deal with that? Because a lot of persons, they will tell you, I don't like candidates A, candidates B, and C, and that's why I'm not going out to vote. So how can we curb that even at the primary level? I'm talking about primary election at that level, so that people can have more interest, in political activities in their country.
Yes, it is. There is not going to always be going to be endorsement, whether we like it or not. But what I employ our people is that a lot of them are so coward. You have seen, when you are talking about APC right now, it is only the first person that took that really challenged the system was one of the candidates for Federal of Rep in Oyo. It was the one that took them to court. A lot of court can settle a lot of cases. Even you are bound to respect, according to the Constitution, if there is going to be any elected post, if probably about 2-3 people vote for in APM or PDP there, if they can be able to procure their form, you get what I'm saying now. If they are not giving fairness, they can go to court and challenge it. But when people are so coward, they hide under the veil. When they are not being given fair treatment, when you are talking about primary, that is the only thing that can kill the system of endorsement. Because it's not about endorsement. A lot of the political party in Oyo State, none of them did primary. And that is illegal. That is criminal. And that is against the system, the tenet of democracy. If a lot of people can be challenging, they can come out when they bought their ticket, if they are refused to be given that fairness, when you are talking about primary, if they can be able to contest in local, you will see a lot of them are going to be. Do you know what happened in Kwara State 2019? Two candidates of APC were disqualified at the Supreme Court because they didn't do primary. If the election is not challenged by someone, do you think they can be disqualified? It is only Dino Melaye that remain out of the 3 senators there. For you to know that it is the people that will be ready to challenge any system that doesn't fear them. If they can be, by the time they do it, and it's going to be precedent to others.
So you're saying people should say no to consensus. So primary election is the best. That's what you're saying.
Primary election is the best.
Right, I think it's a fine place to leave this discussion this morning. Power may be negotiated in political meetings, but legitimacy is earned at the ballot box. And of course, the conversation today reminds us that while endorsement can shape narratives, mobilize party structures, and influence public perception, they are not substitute for public trust. Nigerian politics has produced leaders who rode on influential endorsement to victory, just as it has been highly endorsed candidate rejected by the electorate. Ultimately, endorsement may guide political conversations, but it is the voter who writes the final chapter on election day. My appreciation to Honorable Molajola, APC stalwart, for being a part of this discussion. And it's a fine place to leave it this morning. We take a short break, and when we come back, we conclude the program. I'm Oluwayemi Adelakun. Please stay with us.